What up, everyone? It's Ryan Wilson. You Gonna Eat That Crust podcast. Are you a fan of spine-chilling tales, creepy creatures, and all things horror? Listen to LK the Horror Nerd. He offers in-depth reviews of movies, books, and games, exclusive interviews, and chilling discussions. That's right, folks. Check out LK the Horror Nerd, another podcast on the You Run Podcast Network. Check it out, y'all.
Welcome to the podcast.
It is written.
Oh, you like this character? Well, now he's dead.
2025 and we're at only Kevlar.
I am disgruntled.
I liked it. I said you might not like it.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the You Gonna Eat That Crust podcast. I'm your host with the most on the ones and twos. It's your boy, Fatback Supreme, Mount Crushmore, whatever the fuck you want to call me, Ryan Wilson. And with me tonight, the mustard smuggler himself, a.k.a. Swagger Pants. It's your boy, Seamus Rogers. Seamus, what is good, my friend?
What up, boys? Listeners, this might be the last time in 2024 you get to hear this soothing voice. I'm well.
Great. Also with us tonight, the sweatpants overlord, the follically challenged sweatshirt brand. Ladies and gentlemen, big leg Greg himself. You know him. You love him. Greg Hoey. Greg, hi.
What's up? I got sweatshirts for sale. Follically challenged.
Nice,
No, I don't.
nice. You know,
Not yet, but we're working on it. And maybe some Crust ones as well. Get some Crust merch. Some crusty merch that we can send to our listeners.
get a comfortable blend.
I'm all about that comfortable blend.
Gotta get that stretchy, soft material.
Was that 50 cotton, 50 polyester?
Well, it doesn't have to be a precise measurement, but 100% cotton is bunk. If you're 2024 and wearing 100% cotton, you're living wrong.
Yeah, I go 50 cotton, 25 polyester, 25 Kevlar on all my clothes.
I'm 2025 and wearing only Kevlar.
100% Kevlar. 99% Kevlar,
yeah, I mean,
1% polyester.
There's other ones like that, not besides polyester. Now I forget what they are. They're experimenting with more materials these days.
True.
Space materials.
When I was at the grow shop in GrowGen, we used to get all sorts of merch and swag from like different growers or different companies. And anytime like someone would come in with like 100% cotton, I was like, I'll take it, but
Never gonna wear it.
I'm gonna use it to like clean my bathroom.
They're just not flattering. They don't fit right. They're scratchy. Yeah, they're just not comfortable or flattering. Fuck that. 100% cotton.
Get out of here.
How was your show last night, Greg?
It was awesome. For the first time in probably like the last 7 or 8 gigs, it was not sold out like when we started setting up. Like usually that place is tiny at Lilac City. It's already sold out before we even start doing sound check. But last night it was like kind of deadish. And then, of course, it packed up.
Holiday parties and shopping.
We sold it out. It was sick. It was awesome.
Is that your last show of the year?
It is, yeah. We're going to gig on the 28th, but we have one on the 11th in Epsom, New Hampshire, which is a new spot. And I love going to new spots because people never know what to expect.
We're live.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hope you guys are both having a fantastic week. We're not really here to talk about how our weeks are going because mine was pretty difficult. What are we here to talk about, Seamus?
Well, it's that time of year again. Cold, dark, and I'm behind on my Christmas shopping yet again. The new year is almost upon us. Some momentous events from 2024 include we had a private spacecraft land on the moon. Baltimore's iconic Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed after being struck by a cargo ship. My bae, T Swift, became the world's first musician to become a billionaire solely from songs and concerts. Mexico elected its first female president. Claudia Scheinbaum. Norway became the first country in the world where electric cars outnumbered petrol cars. LeBron and Bronny James became the first father-son duo to play in an NBA game together. Beyonce received her 99th Grammy nomination, becoming the most nominated artist in Grammy history. A literal banana duct taped to a wall sold for $6.2 million in New York, and then the buyer ate it. So I think we have the most expensive snack in history in 2024 as well. But anyways, we're back again for another Best of 2024 edition. Some in-year highlights include Best Podcast 2024, You Gonna Eat That Crust. Best Podcast Host, Seamus Rogers. Best Hair, Seamus Rogers. Most likely to be nominated again in 2025. You guessed it, Seamus Rogers. But okay, enough about me. Let's get into the episode where we outline the Crusty Boys' favorite movies, TV shows, video games, music albums, and books of 2024.
It's all coming up, Seamus.
Fuck. It is the year of Seamus and Kevlar.
Then you're going to be blown away by 2025.
Hey.
I get a sweet shirt made of Kevlar with Seamus's face on it.
Oh, target practice?
No. It's just the brand, Seamus.
Chevlar.
Fuck. All right, well, it's cold as fuck out here, guys. So let's get this list cracking. Let's start with our best TV shows of 2024. Seamus, you're a charismatic fella. Let's start with you today.
All right. This was probably the hardest one. There was a lot of good shows in 2024. I think obviously I'm going to go with, I put Shogun on there, Fallout, Curb Your Enthusiasm, season 12, I believe.
Yep.
The Penguin, and I don't know, this was tough. Like, there's True Detective, there's Lord of the Rings of Power, season 2. Baby Reindeer was great. House of Dragon, season 2. I guess I'll just put up, let's put Baby Reindeer up there. I was kind of hooked on that. Like when it came out, I didn't watch it when it first came out, but I got really into it. Maybe it was different.
That was great.
Yeah, those were all great picks. I mean, I just finished Penguin the other day, and easily my show of the year right now.
Yeah, that's probably the best show of the year. I mean, for Farrell and Christina Middle, I don't even know what her name is, but they were both amazing, and I think they're both nominated for some awards, and they deserve it.
Yeah,
she was
absolutely.
fantastic.
That chick was like, she scared the shit out of me, man. She seems like a girl that does not threaten.
Yeah, but yeah, she's probably the most moral of everyone on the show, or at least starting, at least towards the beginning.
Absolutely. All right. Those are all great picks, Seamus. I mean, I watched all of those shows. I didn't finish Shogun, but the production value of that show was fucking insane. And my wife watched Baby Reindeer without me, so I never got to watch it.
Well, it's not too late.
It is.
Sorry.
All right, Greg, why don't you hit me with your 5 shows of 2024?
All right. I, too, just finished The Penguin the other day and is right up there for me as best show of the year. Penguin was excellent. Fallout, which was a close second, maybe even better than Penguin for me. I absolutely love Fallout. It was a fantastic show. Of course, your boy LD, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I feel like it just kept on getting better every year. Like, they definitely had some lulls in some of the seasons, but it was just their chemistry is fantastic.
I am disgruntled. I actually just got back into season 12. I'm like halfway through it.
Oh, you haven't finished it yet?
Man, that show is
it's so good.
Top notch all day long, man.
Yeah.
Penis Billboard episode.
See, I haven't got there yet, but I did see where Larry had the brick put in the Jewish temple. And it's like Larry David disrespects women.
Yeah.
He got his attorney fighting with his husband about their baby name because his name was like,
that's right,
Zertelman or something like that.
Yeah.
He's like, you should take your name, not his.
Mantle.
Good shit.
Yeah, and obviously Fallout crushed. I mean, that was a no-brainer for one of my shows of the year. More Walton Goggins is what I could say. I'll take him all day long. Just announced he's in the new season of White Lotus on HBO, which if you haven't caught that show, I thoroughly enjoyed both seasons.
Yeah, I could have put that up there too. I forgot. That's a great show.
Absolutely.
I also have Baby Reindeer, and fifth and final is Apple TV show Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal, which was a true crime show and was fantastic.
You're fantastic, Greg.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, well, my list is a little different. Look, I've been begging you guys to watch a show. You're like, nah. But Slow Horses, show of the year probably, right up there, guys.
I hear great things
All right,
about
I'm
it.
writing it down right now.
It's on Apple TV. It's literally Gary Oldman's best acting I've ever seen him do. It's fantastic. And it's one of those shows, it's like, oh, you like this character? Well, now he's dead.
Is it
So-
Game of Thrones?
Pretty much, man. And like they invested a lot of the characters, then they're just like, bye. So I was feeling that for sure. Greg, I know that we had some back and forth about this one. You didn't enjoy it as much as I did, but I'm still really vibing with From.
I do like From. I've said it was just kind of, it gives me Lost vibes.
It's supposed to. It's by the same
know.
fucking writers.
Again, I enjoyed it. I'm halfway through season 2. The young kid really annoyed me. I hated him so much, and some of the actors were just so cheesy. But no, I the concept was cool. I don't dislike From. I like it.
Yeah, I really like Jade. I think he's the shining character in that show.
Yeah, we
He's so
talked about that
fucking
as
weird.
well too. I like Jade.
Yeah, he's
a
great.
fantastic violin player.
And I mean, it's definitely one of the better horror TV shows I've seen. Like, most of them that Ryan Murphy guy does, who does American Horror Story, and they all go to shit. Yeah, they might have a cool premise, but it's like, now I'm going to ruin it. They kind of M. Night Shyamalan it.
Well, yeah, like Need for Speed, they should have stopped after the first one.
Sure,
American Horror
absolutely.
Story, the first season was great, and then it just kept going downhill.
Yeah, well, they've had some all right seasons, but
I don't know. I checked this. I didn't watch it, but I looked at it briefly. It looked like it was foreign and low budget, and I was like, I think I'm going to pass.
Wait, there's a Need for Speed show?
I was talking about American Horror Story.
What I'm talking about From now. I'm talking about From. I checked it out on your recommendation, and I just saw it looked like a foreign show, and it looked kind of low budget, so I just didn't.
It's not foreign. I can assure you of that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think it's a remake of a foreign show.
I don't think so, but it's cool if you want to believe that. That's fine. I'm not here to take that away from you. This is America. Are you typing aggressively now? Okay.
Type less aggressively.
I was just seeing if it was a remake. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it's definitely American science fiction horror television. All right, maybe I'll check it out.
It's all good, baby. I know there's not a lot of time and there's a lot of stuff going on. I get it.
I wrote it down.
It's cool.
It's been written. I got a couple other ones you guys don't have. I had X-Men 97.
I wanted to check that out. Is that just remake of the old show?
Bro, it's a continuation of the old show.
Okay.
And it's so fucking good, man. I watched it with one of my kids. Him and I just fucking dug the shit out of it, man. And it was nostalgic, obviously, for me. But, I mean...
That cartoon was the shit.
It was the shit, dude. And this one, it's even more high stakes now. And it's like...
The animation obviously is better.
Yeah, the story is fucking insane. Like, they didn't fuck it up, man. It was really fucking good. I can't wait for the next season.
It is written. I wrote it down.
All right. Also, you guys don't have... the show's divisive among everybody I've asked. As a matter of fact, I'm the only person I know that likes it. But it's Shrinking.
Shrinking.
You got Harrison Ford and Jason Segel.
Oh.
It's just one of the best casts for a comedy show, and it knows when to, make you fucking cry with a gut punch, or like just the writing is fantastic, top notch. I don't know, it's a really good show. It's got a lot of heart, man.
I've heard great things about it, mostly from you, but I trust you.
Well,
where's Mayors of Kingstown?
Fuck, dog, that would have been an honorable mention. Another fantastic season of that show this year. I got tenor for Renner all day long. I hope it gets another season. Show was it was great. The writing's top notch on that, and it's fucking badass. Jeremy Renner's so badass in that show.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I also just started What We Do in the Shadows new season, and that's an honorable mention. It's been a really funny season.
I haven't watched any of season 6 yet. Otherwise, it probably would have been on my list.
Yep. And then, of course, True Detective. I thought it was great.
No, it was not great. Come on.
It was good.
You're telling yourself that. The show was not. It was not good.
Every season of True Detective has been good.
Except this last one.
Well, yeah, I'm crossing off everything I just wrote down from your list.
Oh, fantastic. All right, let's go movies, guys. Greg, why don't you go first, big dog?
All right. I am going to go with Deadpool Wolverine, Alien
Fantastic.
Romulus, Longlegs, The Substance, and Terrifier 3.
All right.
Nice.
I got 3 of those movies on my list.
I got 4 of them.
Nice. Trendsetter.
All right, tell me what are your thoughts, Greg?
I watched a bunch of movies this year, and I don't know, I thought these were all really excellent movies. I did just watch Heretic the other night, and I thought that was really good as well. I need you to see Terrifier 2 and watch Terrifier 3, because I think you're going to come around on Art the
I've
Clown.
seen Terrifier 2.
Well, then you need to see Terrifier 3. It's the best
Well, I just haven't got
It is
there
the
yet.
best one.
Yeah.
I need like the perfect conditions, you know.
Yep.
Like planets have to fall into alignment like for me to be able to watch that movie, because I'm not going to have other people in my house while I'm watching that movie.
Hey, kids.
Definitely not for the kids.
Yeah.
No, I feel dirty watching it, for Christ's sake.
They incorporated story into this one, which I
Yeah.
appreciate.
Yeah, this one's awesome. It's funny. It's violent. The story's cool. It's probably out of all those movies, it might have been my favorite for like most entertaining. I did really enjoy The Substance though a lot.
Yeah, that's definitely on my gotta watch list. I can't wait to see
Substance
that.
might have been my favorite movie of the year. It was different.
It was very
It's
different.
horrifying. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
But interesting.
It was pretty original for some of those things have already been done. I feel like, but they kind of had like a very original edge to it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, my list is similar. I have Deadpool and Wolverine on there, Alien Romulus, Longlegs, The Substance. I put Furiosa, Mad Max Saga on there.
I also put that.
Pleasantly surprised by this one. I didn't expect to like it as much. It was great. I mean, a couple runner-up. I got Abigail and Dune Part 2.
Nice. I
Ooh.
still got to see Dune Part 2. I hear it's excellent.
I actually just started watching Dune Prophecy, and I'm not like a huge Dune fan. Like, I thought they tried to cram like way too much shit in those 2 movies. And I know it's like a fucking very long-winded and complex narrative or whatever, but the show is fantastic so far.
Seems good. I watched a couple episodes. A little slow and boring, but it seems like it's going to be good.
Yeah, it gets pretty violent. Like, a lot of boobs in it, actually.
And you got the Viking guy who always plays the same character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ragnar.
And
real quick, Seamus and Sean have been telling me about Secret Level. Have you seen that yet, Ryan?
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Yeah, I watched a couple of them. So I was wrong about what that show was. I thought it was like a documentary and animated things on each game, but it was not that. It was just
It's
a little...
not that.
I felt a little nerdy watching it.
That Sifu episode is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was. I think everyone's been great.
Yeah.
I mean, the animation is top notch.
I watched the Dungeons and Dragons and the Sifu one.
I thought the Dungeons and Dragons one was awesome as well, too. I like that, too.
I haven't watched them all yet. Still a few more I got to check out. I love high budget anime. I mean, it's great what they can do.
Yeah, I mean, animation's definitely come a long way in the past several years here, and it's
fan of Love, Death, Robots, or whatever the heck this show is called, then you'd probably like this.
Yeah, Love, Death,
If you're a video game fan, you'd like it. Original tales on some of the games we all know and love.
If you're an Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, you'll love it.
Yeah, that episode was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything different on my list. I had Furiosa as well, and then I watched The Fall Guy too, and I thought that was a pretty decent movie.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was definitely better than I went into it expecting, for sure.
The Hitman was pretty good too. Yeah, that's the God. Yeah, Ryan Gosling. The Hitman was pretty good too. With what's his name? The guy from Powell.
Oh, yeah.
Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell.
Good times. Yeah, so not much different on my list. I mean, I watched all the same shit everybody else watched, so that's where I'm at, baby. All right, well, let's move right on then, guys. I know this is going to be my list is definitely going to be different than your guys' probably, but going to albums. Greg, give me your list of albums for the year.
All right, I have Clancy by the 21 Pilots. I have Flight B741 by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Potential sharing with you, Ryan, is the Shredders POS album.
Yeah, yep.
Cage the Elephant, Neon Pill. And then I just found out about this band like about a month ago, but I've been fucking rocking out to this album, and it's fucking awesome. They're a Scotland band. Their name's High Fade, and their album's Life's Too Fast. They're like a 3-piece. Kind of gives me like Groove Child vibes, but like they're also like really like rock, and they have like some like kind of rap edge to them a little bit. And I don't know, they're fucking awesome. They're super fucking tight.
Sick.
What are they called?
High Fade.
So they all have like short.
No, they don't. I don't. But
They all have military cuts.
yeah, no. I was just at the open mic night like a month ago, and this guy who I play with sometimes, he's a guitar player, was telling me about it. He's like, yeah, he's like, I like heavier stuff. I like this and that. He's like, I really like this band High Fade. And I was like, for some reason, like, all right, I'll check that out. And instantly, I was like, oh god damn, man, just really tight grooves, and they're a 3-piece, and it shit was pretty impressive.
Faux show. All right. Yeah, I mean, my list actually had a couple in common. I had Clancy as well. Another great 21 Pilots album. Definitely took a couple listens for me to appreciate it. But I mean, this band is just so diverse. They got such an original sound, and they're not afraid to mix up genres and shit. It's super refreshing. I think
I thought Clancy was like one of their better albums in the last. I mean, I've liked all their
albums. Like you said, it took a few listens to really appreciate.
Yep.
So did their last one too, Ice and Scaly or whatever.
Yeah. That was the hardest one for me to get into, was Icy Scaly. But I still loved it. But the one with Jumpsuit there, the like themed album, I think it was like the third album. That one was really good. Great. And then Clancy is right up there with me. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I also had Knocked Loose. You won't go before you're supposed to, and they're like a fucking, I don't know, super hard fucking hardcore band, man, and they made a huge splash this year. I just randomly found them on YouTube like late last year, and I was like, I just really got into their, like, they don't pull any fucking punches. They're just like in your face, aggressive, and like I'm like, yeah, these guys fucking get me amped up. I want to fuck shit up right now, but in a positive way.
I want to clean my house.
Yeah, exactly. If when I'm at work, I fucking crank that shit, and my boss will always walk and be like, nice music. Lo and behold, Knocked Loose gets nominated for a fucking Grammy this year.
Damn.
So now when people walk through like, nice music, I'm like, do you mean this Grammy nominated metal band? These guys? Yes. They were also on Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Kimmel had to go issue a public apology because of how aggressive the music was and how insane the audience was at the show. Regular Jimmy Kimmel fans were not vibing with it.
I can see that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I also had both Shredder's albums because they're EPs, so I'm going to squish them together and make them one LP. And those are Close Cuts and Serious Dudes, and that's Sims and POS with some Laser Beak production, and the albums go hard, man. It's so good to have POS back. Like, I'm pumped.
His verses are always fucking super tight. They're always great.
Yeah, he's one of the better rappers.
Yep.
And I tried to get you guys to listen to this guy, MC Type.
Yep.
He's like a comedy rapper, but he had like such amazing guest spots on this first album that was called Lucky Silverback, and it had an idea verse on it for starters. I was like, holy shit. But then it also had a brand new POS verse, and like right after that dropped, that little POS album came out with that other dude, and then the two Shredders albums came out. And he's just, I don't know, man. He's super clever. I love his rhymes. Like, he actually has a song where him and two other guys battle rap their dead friend.
Jesus. You did send me a couple tracks, and I did really enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, he's got shit with Mac Lethal and Sage Francis. I mean, just a great indie rapper. I mean, I really enjoyed his shit. He also had like another project called Cool Ethan, which I didn't even know it was, like, I started listening to it. I was like, sounds just like MC Type. Then I did a little digging on the interwebs, and it is MC Type.
His name's Ethan.
I'm thinking, yeah, probably. And then, this is kind of a cheat, but I put the Chocolate and Cheese Deluxe Edition album.
I saw that too. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Obviously, I'm a huge Ween geek, and any new Ween music I could get my hands on was pretty fucking incredible. It's so fucking brown and so dirty. It was great. I love the extra songs they added to it.
Remakes are ineligible.
Strike it from the record.
I also had Clancy on there, 21 Pilots. I had LL Cool J, The Force.
Nice, thank you for saying
Fantastic album
that.
with huge collaborations on it. The Black Keys, Ohio Players.
Ooh,
Amigo the Devil, Yours Until the War Is Over.
nice.
And Highly Suspect, As Above, So Below.
That was on my fringe. That's a good album as well too. They kind of bounced back a little bit because the album before that was kind of weak, I thought, and I thought this one is really well. I almost put that Pearl Jam album on there as well.
Pearl Jam was on, honorable mention, Dark Matter.
Nice.
Sure.
Amigo the Devil pull. I love it.
Don't know who that is. I guess
He's
I'll
He's good. You'd like him.
have to do the Spotify searching, as the kids do.
Really dark
Yeah.
lyrics. My buddy Sean and Sandy had just seen him in, I want to say it was like Portsmouth or whatever, but it looked like it was like a fucking intimate concert. Like he was like playing acoustic in front of like so many people. Like they were just like so close to him. It was cool.
Nice.
He's got some like dark Johnny Cash type lyrics. Like he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Johnny Cash is ruined for me working in kitchens, guys. There's always one asshole who's like, I love Johnny Cash, man. No, his music is it. And I'm just like, all right. I mean, I've heard these songs fucking 12,000 times. Don't enjoy them any longer.
Have you heard that song that he wrote called Hurt?
Well, dude, one guy that I worked with is like, he's like, this is my favorite Johnny Cash song. And I was like, you mean this 9 Inch Nails song? He's like, yeah, 9 Inch Nails covered it. I'm like, no, bro.
That's hilarious.
Try again.
It is my favorite Johnny Cash song.
Trent Reznor did say that he wrote it and Johnny Cash was made to sing it or something like that. Trent Reznor,
Bullshit.
he did. Trent Reznor basically said it was Johnny Cash's song, essentially.
Lies.
That's fact. Look it up.
Nobody believes you, Greg. New 9 Inch Nails album coming out next year. What's up?
Nice.
I'm fucking psyched for that, man.
Yeah,
I
so-
fucking love 9 Inch Nails. Trent Reznor's the shit.
I mean, he's been busy all along. He's always,
Yeah,
we're always having him make music for games, movies, what have you.
dude. He's balls deep in soundtracks.
One of the best shows I've ever seen. 9 Inch Nails, A Perfect Circle.
Absolutely.
Nice. I wasn't there.
That there was like there's a little LP with Pussifer, A Perfect Circle, and Primus
Nice.
that came out this year.
No.
It's called Sesanta. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, it's pretty good. Check it out.
Oh, shit.
I think it's only 3 songs, but
I'll take it. Especially with the disbanding of Primus's drummer, man. That sucked. But I mean, I guess, if you don't know, Primus's drummer just announced a sudden departure from the band. And he kind of released like a statement a couple weeks later saying, yeah, he's like, I'm fucking 60-something years old now. He's like, playing the drums hurts. Like, it's not easy
can
for
see
my
that.
body anymore, man. It's like, well, I got, I appreciate that honesty, man. Like, he's a nasty fucking drummer too. So,
Primus
It is-
sucks.
you don't think
that's
that.
the slogan.
All right, well, let's move right on to our favorite games this year, guys. Seamus, let's start with you.
I'm gonna go Helldivers 2, one of the funnest co-op games I've ever played. V Rising, another great co-op game.
Forgot about that one.
Dragon's Dogma 2, Wild Bastards, and Marvel Rivals, maybe.
Nice.
But I want to play now. Path of Exile 2 doesn't count because it's only in beta. It doesn't technically come out until 2025. But I also thought about putting Dave the Diver up there. Technically, it came out 2023, but it was released on the PlayStation in 2024. But no,
I'll put that as well.
5 picks: Helldivers 2, Dragon Dogma 2, V Rising, Wild Bastards, and Marvel Rivals.
Dragon's Dogma 1 started out really good, and then just kind of poofed out at the end.
Yeah, I didn't get very far on the first one.
I beat it, but I didn't like how it ended. Yeah. Well, those are great picks, I'm sure, Seamus.
Played none of them.
No, absolutely not. All right there, Greggy Pooh Bear. Hit me, baby.
All right, well, I had Path of Exile 2 as well, but I'll put that as an honorable mention if that's the case because it's not out. But I also had Helldivers 2. I had Game of the Year, Astrobot, Marvel Rivals, Dragon Age, and Wild Bastards.
Nice.
And honorable mention, Path of Exile 2 and Darkest Dungeon 2.
The hardest game ever.
It's
Yeah, dude, those Darkest Dungeon games are fucking hard as shit.
Excruciating, annoyingly hard that I uninstalled it.
but you did have fun for a little while.
I did.
Wild Bastards was fantastic as well too. That game's super
So fun.
underrated.
Yeah.
I haven't
It's
even
probably
heard of
only like $20.
Well, you own it, Ryan. All those games I just mentioned, you got it,
You
buddy.
can play them.
shit, son. All right, look, I'm such an asshole. I do have all the games that Greg has mentioned, but all I've played is Diablo 4 and Path of Exile 2 this year.
Oh my
But I played a
God.
lot of those fucking games. I did my time. And I gotta say, I'm really enjoying Path of Exile 2, Greg.
Yeah, it's great.
Big ups for that one. I'm many hours into it now.
I think it's way better than Diablo. I think Diablo definitely has, or at least tells the story better through cinematics and some of their stuff. Just the combat in the deepness of Path of Exile 2 is awesome, I think. I think it blows Diablo away, but it's newer than Diablo as well, too. But Diablo is great, too. I played the shit out of Diablo and the Vessel of Hatred as well this year.
Well, I mean, I think they're two totally different drugs. I mean, Diablo's all about, all flash, no substance. Like, you're getting those big giant spells and fucking those crazy melee hits and the summons and all that shit. So you get the big sparkle and the bang and wow, look how fast my guy goes.
$1 trillion hit numbers up on your screen.
Yeah. And then Path of Exile 2 is definitely more slow.
Deeper, more customizable,
methodical. I mean, the boss fights in that game are so good. They're so well done.
Yeah, Diablo boss fights, like, you just nuke the boss in like a matter of seconds. And these fights take a long time. And they're very hard.
Miss that sometimes, all right? Because I'm getting some of these bosses are frustrating as fuck on Path of Exile 2. It's a tough game.
Yeah, last night we made it to the what's the name, Gregor or whatever the fuck at the end of I think it's the end of the first act. The guy who keeps leaving all the trees everywhere and he keeps turning into a wolf. Yeah, dude, that guy's hard as shit.
Count Gianor.
Yeah. Just listen to the mist. Just listen to what he says in the mist to avoid the mist hits. And yeah.
Word life. Love that.
I feel like everybody in our friends list who was in the PlayStation party had a hard time with him.
Yeah,
except for Lionel.
Well, yeah, dude. Lionel's the ultimate gamer, He wears leather jackets.
He's on a path.
They don't mess around.
No,
leather jacket guys.
That's a sure sign that you don't fuck around.
Let's try nonsense. He's got a leather jacket.
Did Dead Island 2 come out in 2024?
I think that was 2023.
No, that was 2023, right?
Yeah.
I just actually downloaded that. I started playing this morning.
Yeah. It's a good game, dude. Like I said, the best gore system I've ever played in a game. It's funny. The again, it gets a little stale, but the combat's really fun, especially with multiple people. Like Corey and I had a blast playing co-op.
Well, nice. We'll have to try the new Horde mode.
Yep. I got it downloading. Right meow.
Sick. All right, let's go into our books, guys. I'm gonna go right off the top here. I didn't read shit this year, It was a big year for Rye Guy. All right. I started a business and my kid graduated high school and he's going to college. Life is just really busy for me. And I don't do audiobooks really. I mean, I do listen to some audio stories, podcast format. But really all I read was like a couple Batman omnibuses, which were really good. A Nice Cabin by the Lake, part 2, which was really good. But book-wise, I mean, all I read was the fucking... the first Law trilogy.
Cabin by the Lake, part 2?
Yeah.
Like that horror...
Yeah, the horror.
Mashup.
Yeah, where they're trapped in this, like, cabin.
Yeah, love that movie. How was the book?
No. Not Cabin in the Woods. It's called like A Cabin by the Lake, or I don't even fucking remember the name of it.
All right, moving on.
It was cool though. Anyways, Seamus, tell me what you nerded out on this year.
I loved Red Rising, Sons of Ares, books 1 through 3 by Pierce Brown and Rick Hoskin. I
read those.
Prequel to the Red Rising books. They actually had
I did read those.
graphic novels of these before that came out. I didn't read those. I read the audiobook version. But it's basically a future with a caste system, a prequel that sets up the start of the rebellion in the Red Rising books. Taipan by James Clavell. It's kind of like Shogun's successor, but not really. It's not the same characters. It's a story about the founding of Hong Kong and the industry of like sea trade. Really fascinating book. Long ass book.
Yeah.
The Will of the Many by James Islington. This is book 1. It's a fantasy book about like a Roman type civilization. It's basically like Gladiator meets Red Rising.
Fun.
It's like caste-like system, and he's got like, it's like the first book of Red Rising where they have like the academy and you have to get through it and win. It's a really good book. I'm looking forward to the next in the series. The Bloodsworn trilogy by John Gwynne. It's like Vikings with terrible, powerful gods that meddle with humans. And this was a reread for me. I reread the Night Angel trilogy because there's a new trilogy coming out from the same series. It's Night Angel trilogy by Brent Weeks. Basically, an assassin trained as a child makes moves that impact kingdoms.
Sounds like you just read that from the internet.
Well, I wrote that from my mind. But yeah, I mean, not all these were 2024 releases, but we just decided to go with what we read this year as opposed to release dates because I didn't read many 2024 books.
Sure. Fun. Greg, go.
Yeah, Seamus introduced me, and Lionel actually introduced me to the Dresden Files. So I read Stormfront, Full Moon, halfway into Grave Peril.
Just want to interrupt real quick, Greg. I was once in a battle of the bands, and we won. We came in first place, and the prize was you get to open up for like a pretty big indie hardcore band at the time. And one of the other band was Stormfront, who won second place. So, they were going to open, and then we were going to play. Then the other band was going to play. But they were a vegan straight edge band, and they skipped the show to go do a fur protest at Macy's, which is nothing more hardcore than that.
I was kind of hoping you were going to say, like, there was a band called the Harry Dresdens.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, those books are great. There's like 18, 19 of them.
Yeah,
I like every book that Jim Butcher's written. I mean, he's great.
Yeah, I think you'd love these, Ryan. He's like a modern day wizard, like all sorts of cool cases, and
yeah, it's like he's a wizard in Chicago society. But yeah, like obviously it's a world like ours where people don't believe in all that, so he has to hide it and shit. And he's also like really sarcastic and snarky detective.
Yep, yeah, it's good shit.
I mean, once we get the food truck open again, I'll have more downtime to read because I got that like 1 to 3 o'clock slot that's pretty slow. And over the summer, I managed to finish the first Law trilogy, book 1, and half of the second one. So I did get, some word reading in.
Can't wait for his new book.
Yeah, The Devils.
Yeah, Joe Abercrombie is one of my favorite authors.
Yeah, he's the best. Yeah, the First Law trilogy is the shit. Highly recommend that to anybody. Well, not just the First Law trilogy, it's the First Law series because there's like 9 books.
Makes me wish I had 9 fingers.
Yes.
Logan.
So yeah, the Dresden Files. Definitely read the first few books. Definitely really awesome. Recommended. Jim Butcher. The Gangster by Scott Sigler. I did a whole reread of the whole GFL series, the Galactic Football League. Ryan, even though you don't like football, I feel like you would still like these books as well too. It's good subspecies alien.
Who doesn't
football.
like sci-fi football? Yeah. It's amazing.
It is. It's great. But the Gangster had no football in it at all. It was about Greedock the Splithead. I really liked it a lot. I mean, again, it was different, but the whole reread to getting up to it was a fantastic ride.
I think it's setting up for a big next book, though.
Yep. And I came to find out there was going to be 9 books, not 7, which is awesome. Another Scott Sigler book, one of his best ones, in my opinion, was Mount Fitzroy.
Oh, I don't know if I read that this year.
It was a sequel. Yeah, I read it this year for sure. It was a sequel to Earthcore.
Definitely would have been on my list. I forgot all about that one.
Yep.
Love that book.
Also, The Man with the Candy. It's kind of a sad, brutal book by Jack Olson. It's about Dean Corll. He's been doing some research for upcoming Pizza Bones episode with Dean Corll, who killed children and teenagers, and he's a Candyman. And the book is really well written, and it's just from the perspective of parents. And
what's it called? The Candyman?
The Man with the Candy.
Yeah, I mean, that just sounds like a sad book.
It is very fucking sad. And then finally, I read The Stand for the first time. Stephen King.
Oh, great.
Great book.
And I was blown away by that book. It was fantastic. I thought I had read it before, but I just saw the TV series.
That's an amazing book. And that was a great miniseries back in the day.
I got my dishwasher at work, Simon, also a Wander With Me enthusiast. I got him to read The Dark Tower this year. And he read the whole series in like 3 months, probably.
Damn, he was hooked.
Yeah, he was like, he came in on that last day after last book. He's like, why didn't you warn me, man? Why didn't you warn me? No, the ending does not suck. That's the greatest ending of all time.
I also read the Dark Tower series.
Oh, great.
You remember because you were like, my buddy beat you. He lapped you.
Yeah, that was Chris.
It was the second book. That was one of my favorite ones.
Drawing of 3.
The Drawing of 3, and then there was
Wizard of the Glass is fucking fantastic too.
Okay, so The Drawing of the 3 and Wizard and Glass were my favorite of the Dark Tower series. But I did really enjoy that series. That was really well done. I actually want to go back and listen to it again because that was my first time through, and sometimes I I get it the second time through.
Well, I mean, that's the way that book ends. Almost calls for a reread because you're going to pick up on so much shit that it directly involves the end of that book through the entire series.
I already forgot how it ended.
Cause a wheel, Greg.
I'm just joking. Because I wanted to go back and listen to the first book anyway, because I was underwhelmed by the first book. It took me a long time to get through it.
It's because he wrote it like early in his career.
Yeah.
And like it took him so many years to write, and then he was a better writer after, like when he did the second, third.
Yeah, the drawing of the three was like the difference between that and the first one was huge. Like it was such a good book. The drawing of the three was fantastic, and I was like, all right, I'm in. This series is really fucking cool.
That one and the one with the flashback when he was a young Roland.
Yeah, Wizard in the Glass.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones.
Devastating. Book is fucking devastating.
It was pretty brutal. Yeah, his buddies were the shit too.
Cuthbert, what's up? All right, Greg, I understand you have some of our listener responses, which I am dying to fucking hear.
Okay. So they didn't answer fully. I said top 3, games, movies, shows, books, all that shit. Some of them just gave a couple shows. Some of them just gave a couple movies. But Scott, the Don, the You Run podcast, chose his number 1 movie was Heretic, which I watched the other night. Did you see it?
Doesn't matter if I saw it, Greg. This is about you, not me.
He also has Immaculate, which is Sydney Sweeney.
Now streaming on Hulu.
And The First Omen. So Heretic, Immaculate, and The First Omen.
Also streaming on Hulu.
We're Scott's top 3. Our boys from the Dewey Pod Monster. We got Late Night with the Devil, The Substance, and Alien Rom-Con.
I probably would have put Late Night with the Devil on my list too had I realized that came out this year.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, really?
It's fantastic. We did an episode about it, Seamus.
Yeah, and Greg said you may or may not like it. He had mixed reviews on it.
I liked it. I said you might not like it.
Well, it's not an outstanding review.
You'd love it, Seamus. He said music didn't have a ton. He said the Omnigons had an album called Feral that he really liked. And the Confidants had 2 singles drop, Counting Back from 13 and Living Las Vegas.
Living La Vida Loca.
Live Las Vegas. JD on Instagram, he's no, yeah, totally, dude. He gave me his favorite show, which was The Bear.
Show's so funny. Comedy of the year, easily.
It's not a comedy, it's a drama, so.
Didn't it win Comedy of the Year, Greg? It did.
It did, but that's how good it is.
Yeah, well, please be sadder, Jeremy Allen White. No, sadder!
You stop being a hater. The Bear is excellent. His movie was The Substance, and his book was The Devil in the City of Angels. Yeah, this dude reached out to me during when I was advertising for Richard Ramirez because he said his parents had a run-in with Richard Ramirez.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, that's pretty fucking wild. He's like, yeah, my parents got all sorts of crazy stories about that. I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. We interact all the time with this listener. He's got good music taste and good movie taste, so good shit. Thank you, JD. Michelle, shows. She got Somebody Somewhere. Tires, which is a fantastic show. That's also an honorable mention for me.
Is that the Shane Gillis
Yeah, the
one?
Shane Gillis show. It's hilarious. And she also has Baby Reindeer. Music, Chuck Reagan, Love and Lore. Movies, Terrifier 3, The Substance, and Alien Romulus.
Romulus.
In games, World of Warcraft, The War Within, and Diablo, Vessel of Hatred.
Hey, there you go.
That is the listeners that participated. A couple other people were like, yeah, I'll get you my list. And they didn't. Oh, real quick. This. Justin from Pop Culture Reflections wrote in about our hip-hop episode a little too late, or I just saw it late, and he had his 5 hip-hop albums, which was Stankonia, Outkast, In Search of NERD, The Eminem Show, Phrenology, and Late Registration. Kanye!
Ew. Justin, come on.
Dude, that's an awesome album. I think Kanye's first 2 albums are fucking fantastic, actually.
I think he has a couple of good songs.
Yeah.
I think he has any.
Well, Late Registration.
Because I'm a snob.
Late Registration's fucking fantastic, dude. That's a great album.
Yeah. Well, it's also my reality, bro.
I know. At this. You shook Nate to the core with your hip-hop knowledge. So much so they had to come back and talk mad shit about Ween.
What's
However,
up with that, Nate?
Justin loved Ween. He was all about it. And it was kind of funny. I was telling Seamus because I kind of manipulated my way to have my top 3 albums be the top 3 albums because we each had a number 1 pick, and Justin chose OK Computer and Nate chose Incubus Science. So that left me with Ween the Mollusk. I was like, yeah. And that was Nate's number 10 album out of all the 10 we
shit.
did. Yeah. Oh,
Well,
man.
shit.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to have words next time we see each other.
Yeah. I think so.
I listened to the Transplants. I listened to that fucking shampoo commercial song. It sucked.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, Nate. I didn't mean to go so hard in the paint.
Well, he went hard in the paint against Ween. I tried to warn him. I said, "Don't.
I don't understand.
Stop it. You're gonna make Ryan upset."
Well, I can't wait to listen to that.
I did love that Justin loved Ween though. That was awesome.
Same.
It like really touched my heart. I was like, oh yeah. I kind of had a feeling he would.
Yeah, well, he likes Pavement and Bjork, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly. They really, really hated my Modest Mouse pick as well.
what,
too.
dude?
Yeah, they
Modest
hated
Mouse is great.
the Lonesome Crowded West. I told Justin that he would probably find some Modest Mouse that he likes. if
I
he
have
does.
mixed opinion on Modest Mouse.
Yep.
Like, I think they have some great songs, but they have some boring ass songs.
They do have some weird stuff, and he is an aggressive singer and has like a weird style.
He sounds like David Byrne.
I think they're excellent, and they definitely got better as they went on, and some of their later albums are better than their earlier albums. But Lonesome Crowded West is still a really good album, but they did not. Like, Justin's like, I couldn't even listen to it, man. He's like, I had to skip tracks to try to find something I like. But, hey, you can't win them all.
Absolutely. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode. We want to thank you all for listening. You're all beautiful, beautiful people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We love you. And Ryan, go warm up your piggies.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone who listened. Thanks to everyone who gave us a listen this year, 2024, whether it be new or if you've been listening all along. We really appreciate you. We are rocking the Patreon now for just $1. You can get early episodes every week. And Spotify, YouTube, Apple Pod. We're on Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook. We rep the You Run podcast. So we appreciate you all. Thank you so much. 2025 is going to be the year of the Crust.
Absolutely. That's
Absolutely.
podcast of 2024 and 2025.
Oh, repeating
Yeah,
already.
Well, we did get that award. We got best podcast with the word crust in it. That was big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that and run with it.
Sweet.
And while I'm running, I want you guys to keep one thing in mind. That in Crust we trust.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Woo!
On to another new one next year. We'll see you next year. It's going to be even better.
Robot Dick Clark.
This ends our podcast.
Best podcast host, Seamus Rogers. Best hair, Seamus Rogers. Most likely to be nominated again in 2025. You guessed it, Seamus Rogers.